Welcome back, dear viewers, and you're still watching Cairo Local Time. And in this segment of our program, we will talk about the role of translation in boosting cultural exchange among nations. And we are joined today by Mrs. Heba Eddin. She is a newspaper writer and a translator. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So first, Heba, tell us more about translation and to what extent it helps in boosting cultural exchange and cooperation between nations.
Well, I always believe that translators and interpreters, it's kind of artists, it's kind of art that you need to be an artist in order to be an interpreter, because you are delivering the voice of the speaker, you're delivering the feelings, the thoughts of the speaker. You're not delivering just words maybe by translators. However, translators too need to transfer the culture. For me, I'm always facing in interpreting conferences and events that I'm transferring or interpreting from a culture into a culture. The speaker is speaking from his own or from her own culture and background, and interpreting to different people who are understanding according to their culture as well. So I need to know the cultural specific by the speakers and by the listeners as well in order to deliver the accurate messages. I remember that I was interpreting in one of the events in Arab states, and the listeners were British people, so they were surprised why the speaker starts to praise, to say a poem praising rulers. And they were really surprised. I see this in their facial expressions. They were wondering, so
it's a kind of tradition. It's
yes,
tradition.
Yes, exactly. It's kind of of our Arab heritage. It's our history that we start by praising rulers, especially if they are there. And I was interpreting in an event. The rulers were presented. So in this case, if I just started to interpret whatsoever the speaker says, they will still surprised. Okay, what about the poem? Why didn't you interpret this poem? So before I interpret the poem, I just said that it's kind of our Arabic heritage, it's kind of our culture to start a speech by delivering a poem. And then they were, relieved. Yeah, now we understood why the speaker saying this specific poem. So the culture, this is the role of the interpreter and the role of translator, to deliver the accurate culture, to make everything clear, to make everything, clarified for the audiences, because I am the one who knows the different cultures, so I need to deliver the specific, the accurate cultures.
So if we talk about the problems that face you in your work amid the coronavirus pandemic, can you tell us more about these problems and how do you face them?
Yeah, well, we all suffer from the different circumstances. Actually, I can say sudden different circumstances of COVID-19, because everything turned to be online, everything turned to be electronic. And we have lost so many professional old people who did not know how to cope with the new circumstances.
Digital transformation in many aspects of life.
Yes, exactly. So RSI, remote simultaneous interpreting, is the new feature of being interpreter, and of course translators, they are translating online. And in this case everything turned to be in online features. As an interpreter, I need to know the new features of online applications like Zoom, like Google Meets, how to be updated with the new features. So as an interpreter in this pandemic, I just turned to be RSI. My title is RSI, so I'm interpreting remotely via Zoom, not like before the pandemic. Now I'm interpreting via Zoom, via Google Meets, different online webinars, and also there are so many meetings turned to be online.
Yes.
Training online and online instructions, everything turned to be online. So in this case, how to cope, how to survive amid this pandemic is just, you need to know the online features. You need to be updated. What I'm talking about is very professional, experienced old people. They could not cope with the new technologies, with new features, so they prefer the traditional way, the traditional interpretation. And of course, nowadays, no one, in order to protect the distance, no one can be like before in person translation. Everything has just turned to be online. So everyone just know how to deal with the online features, with Zoom features, just could be survives amid this
Yes.
pandemic.
So Heba, tell me about the books that you are interested in translating, and what is the most important book that you translated in your life?
Well, as a writer, I like writing so much.
Yes.
I started my career as a translator. I like reading, I like writing so much. And for the first book I have translated, it was, it actually was very small books, I can say booklets.
Yes.
And then
So you
I
started
have,
by booklets.
yes, exactly, and in different fields actually. And then I have started with a book that's called Economic Development, and it was the bestseller in Egypt Book Fair in here. So I didn't expect this success. The accurate translation, it was 1,000 pages, and it was specified for the PhD scholars in economy. And I like it so much because it doesn't speak only about economy, it speaks also about culture, about numbers. If you want to convince someone for facts, you just need to speak about numbers.
Yes.
Numbers speaks about facts. So I like this book so much, and as an interpreter in different conferences in the field of economy, it was really easy for me to predict the terminologies, the specific terminologies. So this was one of my best achievements in translating books. And I have translated as well scientific magazines in Egypt and outside Egypt, in the Gulf specifically. And
Scientific magazines to Arabic?
Yes, from Arabic into English.
From
and
Arabic
vice
to
versa.
English.
Yeah, for the book Economic Development, it was from English into Arabic. And the specific magazines related to media magazines and other researches as well.
Yes. So you told me that you are also interested in writing. So can you tell us more about the articles that you write, and in which fields?
Well, as a writer, it was a coincidence because in this pandemic, I just started to write. We have free time. We are staying home. We are not going out, not that busy like before. We just need to deliver our messages, to deliver our feelings, our these hard feelings in writing. So I started writing articles, I started publishing articles, and I know that I'm a good writer because I'm writing since I was very young. So I have then started with publishing with Gulfian newspapers. So many names I am writing with in Saudi Arabia and Emirates.
You told me that you write about society and the problems facing women, maybe.
Yeah, in two different newspapers. One of them is for women, advocating women, and every time I just see that there is a chance, there is an opportunity, I start to encourage women. I started to advocate women. You need to achieve your dreams. You need not stop anymore. And also you need to, you have challenges in your practical life, and you need to overcome these challenges. So I just started writing to address to women how to continue their career, how to continue their track, how to be on track, not off track. And another magazine I'm writing just for addressing to society. It's kind of the social problems, how to the current problems nowadays because of this pandemic. We have so many concerns. We have so many, you know, it's not good feelings we have inside. So
Yes.
we need to, for reading articles, how to protect yourself, how to be optimistic, not there is nothing will be more worse than this. So we need to read articles like this. So every time write some articles, I'm so happy when I receive comments. Someone says, I was so happy when I read your article because
Yes.
it gives me positivity in my life.
Yes.
Everything is really worse in my life, so it's really makes me positive.
Yes.
So there are so many updates, so many ideas that you can do amid this pandemic.
So if we talk about reading, and that we can see that many people go for electronic books, do you think that book reading lost its charm nowadays?
Well, actually, I'm the one who is, yeah, I'm coping with electronic devices. I'm coping with electronic applications, online
Yeah.
everything, I mean. But I'm still like reading the paper books.
Yes.
This is, you know, it's kind of amusement I feel inside myself. However, yeah, everything becomes online right now.
Yeah.
So in this case, it's not only reading books, it's everything. Everything
Yes.
becomes online.
Yeah.
If you want to order food, if you want to book flight, if you want to make anything, you can just browse and it will be
Yes.
in order.
Yes.
So online books, yes, it's now really published.
Yes.
But for the online books, I mean, everything now it's you know, on site. Whatever the book you're searching for, you can find. I like so much when international universities they open their libraries, their online libraries for free for the readers to encourage them to stay home.
Yeah.
So I like it so much. I feel that scholars now, they can find their passion, they can find more books to read. So yeah, I encourage everyone to read online books and of course the paper books as well.
Yes, finally I'd like to thank you, Mrs. Heba Eddin, newspaper writer and journalist as well as a translator. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
And by that, dear viewers, we come to the end of today's edition of Cairo Local Time. Thank you for watching.
لازم نعترف